welcome to the Upkeep for Monday, September 7th, 2020. All of the Magic the Gathering news you need in 10 minutes or less. Once again, I'm rocking the news desk solo again this week. Everybody, get on board with me here and never forgive Megan for leaving me alone for literally 2 of the biggest Magic news weeks that have ever existed. Okay, I'm done with my griping. My name is Maria. I'm going to walk you through the news this week, which has a lot of really exciting stuff. Kicking things off with a brand new Zendikar Rising trailer released. This thing is absolutely gorgeous, really beautiful. If you've seen it, you've got Nahiri with 2 of her core friends, and she's stealing something that looks very important related to the royal on Zendikar. I don't want to spoil everything for you if you haven't seen it yet, but yeah, Nahiri doesn't come out looking too good in this one. Might commit murder a couple of times, but yeah, it looks like she's on a mission. So check out that trailer if you haven't seen it yet. Really getting me hyped for Zendikar Rising. Then, of course, along with the new trailer release, we had a preview show from Wizards of the Coast featuring Jimmy Wong and Becca Scott and a whole bunch of people from Wizards of the Coast. Really awesome job, really well produced, really slick video. And we got introduced to some of the new mechanics that we're going to see in Zendikar Rising. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about those now because they do seem pretty cool. The first new mechanic I'm going to tell you about is called Party, and Wizards said they developed this mechanic to kind of feel like you're on an adventure with your friends, which is the whole idea of returning to Zendikar here, this adventure plane. So you get bonuses for having different classes on the battlefield: Warrior, Wizards, Rogue, and Cleric. Those are the kind of classes that you're going to care about. So let's take a look at a creature with this. Kabira Outrider is an example here, 3 and a white, which is a human warrior, a guy riding some kind of giant emu-looking bird. It's pretty cool. It's a 3/3 at common. When it enters the battlefield, target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each creature in your party. So you get special bonuses, like I said, for having creatures of different classes in your party. By the way, in case you're wondering, changelings only count for 1 of the 4 creature types, so you're going to still need 4 changelings to be in your party if you want to get the full party bonus, if you will. You can't just be like, my changeling is everything, which is, I don't know, not exactly how changelings are supposed to work, I think, but you know, it's got to work with Party, so that's how it works. Party is also on spells. Coveted Prize is a great example of this for 4 and a black at sorcery speed here. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature in your party. Search your library for a card, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. If you have a full party, you may cast a spell with converted mana cost 4 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. So a pretty cool looking rare there. Check in for Party on spells. The other new mechanic is really cool and kind of sort of a returning mechanic here. Modal double-faced cards is the term Wizards of the Coast is going for, and it's not those double-faced cards you might remember from Innistrad with werewolves on the back. No, these are sides that you choose between. So these cards, in the case of ones that are creatures or spells, they all have a land on the back. Let's take a look at one of them. Valakut Awakening, 2 and a red for an instant at rare. Put any number of cards from your hand on the bottom of your library, then draw that many cards +1. So you can play it that way, or you can just play it as a land. That's Valakut Stoneforge. It enters the battlefield tapped, and you can add red mana with it. So really cool decision point there, right? Do you need extra lands, or do you want to play a really cool spell from your hand? I love it because it's good early in the game. Develop your mana base. It's good late in the game when you might not need a land. Speaking of lands, yes, there's also double-faced lands in the set. They're called Pathway lands. Here's a look at one of them. River Glide Pathway taps to add blue, but flip it over and it becomes Lava Glide Pathway and it taps to add red. So really cool way to include color fixing in this set, red and blue here on this Pathway land. There are 6 Pathway lands in total, which is a little bit of a weird number. Normally it's either 5 or 10 or something like that. But the reason for that is because it's trying to support the party mechanic, as the classes in this set are tied to certain colors. So clerics are white and black, rogues are black and blue, warriors are red and white, and wizards are blue and red. So 4 pathways match these color pairs. That was really easy to include, says Wizards of the Coast. Green, on the other hand, isn't a primary color for any of the classes, but is the only color to have access to all 4 classes, and that is why there are 2 additional pathways to support green party decks. So if you're looking for some of these cool double-face cards, not to worry, every booster is gonna have at least one of them. So those are the new mechanics. Let's talk about the returning mechanics, the hits here. Everybody loves Kicker, and it's back. It's It's also on one of my favorite cards from the set. I can already tell. Gnarlid Colony, 1 and a green for a 2/2. Beast at common. Kicker, 2 and a green. You may pay an additional 2 and a green if as you cast a spell. If Gnarlid Colony was kicked, it enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has trample. So really cool, once again, allowing you to cast these cards the best way that they suit you at any moment in the game. And by the way, Kicker also is on spells, of course. Might of Marasa is an example here. 1 and a green for a common instant. Kicker, 2 and a green. Target creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn. If the spell was kicked, that creature gets +5/+5 this turn instead. The other returning mechanic, it should surprise almost no one, is Landfall. We didn't get this in the previous Zendikar set, so it is back. Here we go. An example of the card with Landfall, Spitfire Lagak, 3 and a red for a lizard at common. It's a 3/4. Landfall, whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, Spitfire Lagak deals 1 damage to each opponent. So basically, Landfall giving you a bonus of many different kinds of bonuses for playing lands, which is exactly what Zendikar is all about. And now to the special frames for Zendikar Rising. I love that Wizards of the Coast is doing these. I absolutely adore them in Throne of Eldraine. And here they are in Zendikar Rising. These will be focused on landfall creatures, each of which will have the frame. It's also going to be on a few spells. So you can find these in draft, set, and collector boosters. And the frame is designed around vintage travel posters. They look absolutely beautiful. Lotus Cobra is my favorite example. Just really colorful and really evoking the feel of those old travel posters. And of course, since we're going back to Zendikar, you can't go back to Zendikar without full art lands, right? It would be a travesty. So good thing we've got them. 15 different designs. They come in both draft and set boosters of Zendikar Rising, and there will be 1 foil land in each collector booster. Lands, and more lands expeditions are back here in Zendikar Rising. 30 lands, including all 10 fetches, with both foil and non-foil versions available. The Battle Bond crowd lands are included, as well as powerful lands like Cavern of Souls and Wasteland. The bad news here is that these only come as box toppers. Womp, 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 womp. The box topper expeditions will be non-foil, and 1 will come with every booster box of Zendikar Rising, and 2 will be included with collector booster boxes. They've got a new and improved glossy finish, the non-foil ones, that Wizards gave an example of on Twitter, which looks pretty cool. The foil expeditions, on the other hand, are exclusive to the collector boosters, where they will appear in 1 out of every 6 packs. Remember, Zendikar Rising releases on MTG Arena on the 17th and on the 25th in paper. But that wasn't all the information we got at the Zendikar Rising preview show. We found out a lot about what next year has to offer as well. And I am really excited because they announced a bunch of sets, and to be honest, they all seem really, really sweet. The first one they announced was Kaldheim, which is coming out in the winter, which is a Norse-inspired set. And I know players have been asking for this for a really long time, so I'm stoked to see what it's all about. Then in the spring, if I could get even more stoked, we're going to Strixhaven! It's basically a Harry Potter-themed set where it's a magical school with different school factions battling against each other. I am here for it. You know, I gotta draft my Gryffindor cards, right? You know, proud Gryffindor over here, all right? Then in Q3, this news has got a lot of people super excited. A combo of Dungeons & Dragons and Magic. A black bordered set called Adventures in the Forgotten Realms, which is all from D&D. I am really, really hyped for this. I love D&D, I love Magic, and really great to see them play together in a Magic set finally. And then a news that's got me and a lot of other people excited. Geez, I'm excited for all of these. Yeah, these announcements were all hits as far as I'm concerned. We're going back to Innistrad, baby! But they couldn't decide if they want to do werewolves or vampires, so it's going to be 2 sets in the fall. First up is Innistrad Werewolves, and then Innistrad Vampires, and I am here for it. Even more news about new upcoming sets. Some special sets were also announced, including Time Spiral Remastered, which is going to have the old borders. So everybody who is nostalgic for Magic cards that look like they did back in the day, Time Spiral Remastered will be for you. Old border cards. I cannot wait to see the art from this set. Modern Horizons 2 is also on the horizon, which is going to feature enemy fetches, which people have been wanting for a long time. They also teased a Walking Dead secret lair with a zombie token, which, you know, it just makes sense, that combination, although is The Walking Dead something people are talking about now? I don't know. Maybe this just took a long time to come together. My personal favorite that they announced was the Yargle Secret Lair. Yes, I did buy the foil version. I'm not ashamed. Okay, I'm a little ashamed. No, I'm not. They're cool. I like Yargle. Big news for people who love Magic Story. The story is coming back. Vorthos fans all over the world rejoiced. This started on September 2nd. The story is going to be told in 8 or 9 parts, released on Wednesdays and Fridays. The main plot will consist of 5 stories, all posted on Wednesdays, while the Friday post will explore other characters and events on Zendikar. If you want to play some competitive Magic coming up here, check out PAX Online. They've got a bunch of Magic the Gathering events. It runs September 12th through the 20th on all sorts of different platforms. You can play Arena, you can play Magic Online, you can play Spell Table and Paper. Tons and tons of events. You can check it out online at pastimesevents.com. A way to play some competitive Magic at PAX, even though PAX isn't happening in person this year. Coming up this weekend, you don't want to miss it. The Mythic Invitational is happening. $250,000 prize pool, and it's a huge tournament. More than 160 players, 4 days long as well. The action kicks off Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific time, going all the way through Sunday. So all Magic all the time starting on Thursday. Yours truly will be rocking the news desk along with Day 9. We got some new casters joining the team as well. Bloody and Amazonian will be there broadcasting their first Mythic Invitational, so congratulations to them. Really looking forward to it coming up this weekend. It's going to be a great tournament, a great crew, and we're playing historic for the first time at a premier level event. So what will happen? It's anybody's guess. All right, everybody, that's all the Magic news you need for this week. Thank you so much for hanging out once again. Check out our full-length podcast. It's called Good Luck High Five. We've got a preview of the Mythic Invitational coming up, so you're not going to want to miss out on that this week. The episodes always drop Tuesday mornings. You can check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/goodluckhighfive. Support us on Patreon over on patreon.com/glhfmagic and join the family. All right, everybody, that's all your news for this week. See you online.
Good luck, high five.